Hello, everyone. How you doing? Good evening. This is the Dr. Carolyn Show. I am your host, Dr. Carolyn, and we are excited about today's lineup. But before we talk about the show, I need a roll call. So I need you to type right now, whether you're using Facebook or YouTube, where you're from, what state you live in, what state you're watching me from. I'm actually not in my studio today. The Dr. Carolyn Show is on the road, and I am in the Sunshine State. So that is none other than Florida. And so I'm here with the Gators hanging out. So, it looks a little different for the background, but it's going to be an amazing show because we are talking today about pageants, about fashion, about modeling, and you will get to hear from a diverse group of awesomeness and awesome sauce, everything awesome about these wonderful guests. And they're going to just share their story, their triumphs, their trials, and where they are today. So as you know, this show is about transformation, authenticity, transparency, and we are results driven. So you're not going to leave this show today without hearing something that will inspire, transform, and change your life. And that's what we're about. So I'm looking for the roll calls. I can see them coming in. Thank you for your feed. Share this out. Let people know that you're watching the Dr. Carolyn Show. I want people to join into the conversation. There is a surprise that will take place at the end of the show. So you want to watch the entire show. This is the day for you to get the transformation you have been waiting for. It's August. It's the month of new beginnings. Why not today, right? And so thank you again for joining us. Thank you for being a follower week after week. And for those of you who have never seen one of our show, welcome to the Dr. Carolyn Show. You are in for an awesome treat. All right. So as you are posting and as you are sharing, thank you again. And just keep sharing, keep commenting. We need the ratings so that, we can stay on the air. We can have this show be the success that it is. Now, this is our preview show number 3 and season one, and show 1 and 2 was amazing. We got exactly what we needed within 24 hours. So need your help. For those of you who have been, Facebooking me, instant messaging, letting me know that this has just been an inspiration to you. Thank you so much. And so as we are getting ready to start now, I'm going to introduce our first guest to you. Again, today's show is about pageants. We're going to be talking to some beauty queens. We have fashion and modeling. We have the world of, the entertainment and the media. And I want you to understand that there are different perspectives as well as different journey. But the one thing I want you to be listening into today for is that no matter where you are, what circumstance you're in, that there is change, that there is light, hey, at the end of the tunnel. And so our very first guest hails all the way from another, sunny kind of place, but it's hot down there. She's all the way from Texas in Dallas, and we welcome the wonderful, the one that has been seen all over the world. She is also a colleague. She is a fashion diva. She owns and runs the Inspire in Style magazine. She's the editor-in-chief. She also is a coach. She can help you to get on the platform if you are looking to get into a space of modeling or fashion. She's just an all-around diva. Her name is Leah Frazier. Welcome, Leah.
Hi, Carolyn. How are you?
I am doing well. So you're in the hot state, right?
I am. It is blazing down here. Let me tell you, I'm glad to be in the AC.
Right. What's the temperature there?
I think today it was in the mid 90s, but last week we hit like 111 or so. So
wow.
Blazing.
Yeah. Awesome. So we want to welcome you to the show, Leah. Thank you for joining us and for being a part of what we're doing. And we just want to get right into it. So Leah, tell us a little bit about your story, your journey, and kind of your background and where you are today. And then we will go from there.
Yes. So I am a triple licensed attorney. Started out, I got licensed in the state of Texas. Then went on and was licensed in California, and then went on and went before the Supreme Court, but had this passion for fashion. And so I decided to become a personal shopper just to help women just like myself who were, were working 80 hours a week and they needed help. And so I started a business and it blew up out of nowhere, started blogging, and before you know it, I'm on TV as a fashion expert. And I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better career. I'm now full-time into fashion. I moved back to Dallas in 2011, and I've had a very successful career here in Dallas because the women love to shop, we love to look good, and they love luxury. So this is a crazy, crazy path I've been on.
Right, right. So wait, Leah, you are a triple attorney. So let the audience know, what's your 3 different areas of specialty?
Well, when I was practicing, I was doing consumer finance, but I took the bar in Texas and passed. I took the bar for California and passed it on the first try. And then I also was invited to get licensed before the Supreme Court. I never thought that I would use it, but I thought it was pretty cool to hang on the wall. So.
Okay, that's amazing. Wow. So you're beauty and brains. So you have taken the knowledge that you have from your education and bringing that really to the streets, quote unquote, right? Yes. And so, yeah, when I met you, we were both colleagues in a one coaching program, and you were in like a moment of transition. You have all these degrees, but you were feeling a tug on you, right, to go into another realm, to just do something differently. And tell us what happened. You completely just owned Leah and stepped from where you were into another place. And there are some people that's watching today that's in between. I call it, a hard rock on a whatever that phrase is. But you're just kind of in transition, and it's kind of a weird place. So just help some of our viewers today with how you just kind of just stepped out.
I think when you and I met, I was in this place, I was just tired because I was doing the attorney thing by day, and then I was the fashionista by night. And so by the time I got to the business coaching, I was just like, I'm desperate. Help me make this work. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think I'm going to have the strength to do it anymore.
Right.
And just the tools that I received just gave me that faith to say, you know what, you have a gift and no one can do this like you. And when I started writing down how quickly things happen once I got into fashion with no training, I had no educational background in fashion, but within 2 months of starting my business, I was on TV. It really helped me to see that I have a gift to give to this world. And I was very confident once I left that coaching that I was going to be okay as long as I had systems and structure in place to make that transition happen. And I haven't looked back since. So it's been great.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. I'm so proud of you, Leah. And so also today we are going to be interviewing some beauty pageant queens. And that's somewhat of a similar world to yours. You're in more fashion and more modeling. I've seen some of your runways that you did recently. And there's an aspect to pageantry that also have like a runway section. The Miss America is coming up soon. And we just finished the U.S.A. ambassador pageant, which I have 2 queens that I will be interviewing today there. So what have you found to be some crosses or similarities or extreme differences in your world, in the fashion, the runway, the modeling, because it is a kind of a dog world. It's kind of who you know, right? And so what have you noticed that were some similarities in like pageants and fashion modeling? Because you do both, except for pageants. I don't think you do that yet. Not yet. But what are some similarities and some differences?
Similarities wise, I feel like pageants really highlight women. Like they celebrate beauty. They let you celebrate you, whether that's beauty, brains, just everything that embodies you. I really believe that that's what pageants stand for. So in fashion now, we've seen this shift to where there's this inclusive nature where it's like, if you're a size 0 up to whatever size that you are, own that. And that's beauty. So I've seen beauty redefined in a way that, we haven't seen, especially when I first started almost a decade ago. So I love it because I'm a curvy woman, I'm a size 12. So now that this is the norm, all the campaigns I'm getting now, they want to celebrate your beauty. I have natural hair, and that's been a big shift. So that's definitely some similarities. As far as differences, I think in my modeling world, they don't really, I mean, it's more of the aesthetic. So we don't really get to go out there and really capitalize on, you know, internally what we have going on as far as our books and smarts and things of that nature. But
okay.
if you go out in the talent world, you do have to know how to speak correctly and kind of know what's going on and
correct
nature, but not on runway.
Okay, yeah, and I can see that. So I actually happen to be on all the spectrums, whether it's the television, the fashion, the pageant, and all that. And what you said is exactly correct. And what I found though for modeling, which is easier than pageant, modeling you're owning your own space versus in the pageant, it's a competition. You know, sometimes you're running against 50 to 1 other different states, or if it's a state level, you know, multiple different cities. So yeah, that is like a big difference versus one of our colleagues is also Ashley Graham, who's just like blowing up everywhere, right? And so when I first met her and I told her I was into pageants, she was like, ooh, gross. So because she's all into fashion and you know, modeling and all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much, Leah, for sharing your story. So before you go and I go to the next guest, give me 3 things that you would want to share with the audience. So there may be a woman or a male who are maybe in corporate America doing a 9-to-5, and they feel like there's just a tug for them to step into their own. I mean, who would have thought when you went to law school, right, you were going to be ending up being the editor-in-chief, right, of Inspire and Style. No one knew that, but your training has helped you to do that. But it was when you truly owned Leah. You didn't try to be something, not that a degree makes you try to be something. I did business because I wasn't sure what I want to do. Jack of all trades, so I just did business. It played out. So 3 things and 3 points you want to leave for someone that's watching today who's saying, you know what, I'm feeling a tug to start my own business, to get into modeling, to get into pageant, to just own something of my own, right? And what can you tell them in order to help them get to that next level?
First thing is, like you said, just own it and don't be afraid that you don't have what you perceive to be the qualifications for whatever it is that's on your heart. I wasn't qualified to be in fashion, but all the resources and everything I needed came to me because it was genuine.
Right.
My passion was genuine. 2, be teachable. So when I went out and I didn't know a thing about fashion, I went to every show that there was. I sat down with designers, teach me how to sew, teach me what stitching looks like. When I didn't know how to model, I went to a coach, teach me how to fix my face.
Right.
Those things. And then 3, you know, just build a really solid network. You know, you hear a lot of people talking about tribes. You're gonna need those solid people to push you through.
Right.
Like, the world doesn't understand why you're going after something that's completely different than what you're educated from. So maybe you have a business coach, and then maybe you have someone in your direct field, and then you have someone who's just going to be your supporter that won't let you give up no matter what. So that's
Okay, very good. That was brilliant. That was awesome. And for those of you who are just joining us now, we are talking with Leah Frazier. She is from Dallas, Texas, and she now is the editor-in-chief of Inspire and Style. That's correct. And you can find her at Leah Frazier. That's FRAZIER.com. If you're looking to get into the fashion world, if you're looking for some coaching for fashion, modeling, to step into your space, or even if you don't have any desire for any of that, but you're looking for someone to guide you to say, I'm doing this, but I feel like this. I mean, attorney to fashion is completely, totally different. That's like night and day, right? And so it doesn't matter what field you're in. If you're looking for some guidance to step into your own, to own your purpose, you can take an example from this awesome woman, Leah, who has just really, truly stepped out, not just on faith, but she took action. Because you can't really just step out on faith and stay there, right? And so, Leah, thank you so much for joining us today on the Dr. Carolyn Show. You have inspired and changed so many women's life. I mean, even just for the fact that you went natural with your hair, that is super cool. I like the little color in the front. And so, hey, we can all do that, right? Just own your own space and do what it is that you want to do. And there's so much great things that's coming for you, Leah. You've stepped on the platform now. You can't keep up with all the deals and all the open doors that are open for you. So for that viewer that is watching, that you have not owned your space and stepped into your you, do this. Do it now and do it today. Even if you just write it down, right, Leah? You can just start your new you today and make a new difference and be that catapult and that significant person that earth is really waiting for you to walk in your divine purpose. And so we want to thank Leah for joining us again. Her website is leahfrazier.com. And you can find all the resources that you need to step into your purpose, to walk into your gift, to do fashion, to model, to be inspired, to make a difference. And you can own it there and you can connect with her there. And so thank you, Leah, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you on the show. And we are looking forward to having you back as our featured guest on the show. Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome sauce. So for those of you who are just joining us, you are tuned in to the Dr. Carolyn Show. And today we are talking about pageants. We're talking about modeling. We're talking about fashion. And I want you to hashtag out, tweet Dr. Carolyn Show, and jump and let me know where you are tuning in from, whether you are from Texas or Brazil or wherever you are tuning in from internationally. I need to hear from you. And we're going to be picking a particular guest, not a guest, but an audience member from the audience, either YouTube or Facebook. And you will be getting a special gift at the end of the show. So you want to stay tuned and you want to stay with us. I need you to let me know where you are. This is roll call number 2. I am Dr. Carolyn, and I'm coming to you live from the Sunshine State, where the alligators live. and I'm not hanging out with them. Oh, little funny joke. This is a commercial here. I went to this lake, and it says, feed alligators at your own risk, but they are a protected species in Florida. I just turned my back and went the opposite way. I'm like, they're not protecting me, they're protecting those gators. I just laughed. I'm like, oh no. And there were some people there, trying to pet the gators. You can't pet a gator. That's an animal. Oh my God, it's worse than an animal. Anyway, so thank you, Leah. All right. So we have, again, just an awesome lineup for you today. And I am about to introduce you to a wonderful real life queen. You've seen queens and you see in the pageants. We just recently had the Miss U.S.A. pageant. And that was, I think, Cara was the one that won that a few months ago. And just a week ago, almost a week ago today, we have with us Marla Viturello. If I mispronounce your name, Marla, I am so sorry. But Marla is the Mrs. USA Ambassador Queen, and she hails all the way from New Jersey. Marla, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great, Carolyn. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, awesome. She got the crown and the sash. Let me see your sash, Marla. Awesome. She is a beauty queen, and she is live and real and touchable. And there she just moved her hair. She got the crown going. And Marla, so you just won the Mrs. USA Ambassador in the pageant that almost a week ago. And it's just an awesome opportunity that has been allotted to you. And so before we go into the pageant and all that we're going to be talking about today, tell me and tell the guests and the audience, who is Marla?
Hi, everyone. My name is Marla Viturello, and I am your first Mrs. USA Ambassador 2017. First one. I think it's an amazing pageant system. Allows women of all ages. There's no cutoff. If you're married or not married or whatever your story is, it's okay, because you can be who you want to be in this pageant system. It is comprised of so many wonderful people, and it is really an amazing place to be. So I feel very fortunate to be able to have met so many wonderful women such as yourself, and be able to form this sisterhood.
Right.
It's a great experience and a wonderful opportunity.
Sweet. And outside of the pageant, you have a whole different world. So what does Marla do besides the royalty?
Yes. So basically, I can start from ground up. My story is a little similar to Leah in the sense of switching careers on what truly inspires you. I didn't go into the fashion world like she has done from being an attorney, which is an amazing accomplishment. I'm actually a registered nurse and got into the legal nurse consulting world and then into the pharmaceutical business world. So I've been a nurse for about 21 years. I specialized in cardiology and worked for different hospital systems, taught nursing, loved it, started to work for, had an opportunity to work for a law firm. And I was the legal medical director for that law firm. And I was able to guide patients' care. So still using some of my nursing experience, but also on the sales side in promoting and marketing the law firm as well. Jumped into pharmaceutical sales and eventually opened up my own workers' comp pharmacy. And so we cater to those who were injured in accidents at work and supply their medications.
Awesome. Wow. But you also have another thing that you did, Marla. What is that other thing with the pom-poms?
It's funny. I always lead with my career and my education. And I always go on about, nursing, and I somehow leave out, not that I don't do it on purpose. I just always want someone to judge me on my education and who I am as a person first.
Right.
And not that doing what I did for the NFL and being a Philadelphia Eagles cheerleader, I am.
Wait. Slow down. You said that too fast. Be what I did and an NFL cheerleader. Okay, so tell them slowly what you also did at one point. What cheerleader you were in for what team?
I will, and I apologize for the audio here. I think I'm a little delayed, and then your mouth is moving at different times that the audio is coming in, so I apologize. So I was a Philadelphia Eagles cheerleader for 6 years. That was truly an amazing experience. And talk about sisterhood. I have remained friends with those women for all of these years. Since 1996, that was my first year as an NFL cheerleader. I had the great opportunity to be a team captain and a leader, represented the team in 1999 and went to the NFL Pro Bowl and was voted by the fans as the fan favorite out there. So that to me, anytime that you're voted by the people, my peers even voted me to go to the Pro Bowl. To me, that was the most rewarding experience, to be nominated by your peers and your friends.
Absolutely. And I did some cheerleading myself, and I told you that. And so it's a fun thing, They always said it's the nerdy pretty girls, but hey, it is what it is, right? It got you to. It was a path to your journey, to your success. And so, all right. So switching gears now. You are married and you have children, so you're a mom as well as a wife. And there was this pageant system that had the opportunity for the first time ever to have married women in the pageants. I've been in pageants before that was just strictly, that's all it was a Mrs. Pageant. And I started in pageantry as a coach, actually. So I would coach the girls, be a life coach to them, because it just seemed like there wasn't a lot of confidence. And I'm like, super steroids on confidence. Like, you can't tell me nothing. I don't care what you say, like anyone. So it was easy for me to do the coaching. And while I was doing that, someone said, hey, I think you should get into this. So at first it was just fun for me because, it's hilarious. The only part I didn't like is in the bathing suit in front of all those people. But besides that, so now you have stepped into this platform. This is the first opportunity that this pageant system has ever had for married women. And so what is your platform that you're planning to use this to encourage people and to build upon for this pageant system, or for your reign for the year?
Yes, well, I have to say, to go back into the comments we were talking about earlier and being an NFL cheerleader, that's certainly one thing I wanted to mention was in the community. We serve many different platforms in the community. And that really helped prepared me even for what I'm doing now, all through those years, doing the community service, understanding public appearances and inspiring other people and helping other people in the community. And that's really what being an NFL cheerleader is about. We do so much more off the sideline than we do on the sideline as dancers just on game day. Those experiences prepped me for what I do now. And all the years I still continued to work with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, doing charitable efforts. I now am with the Gift of Life, which is my current platform now, the Gift of Life Family House that services families that are awaiting transplants, either for the patient. If the patient is hospitalized, the family has a place to go. It's in Philadelphia. because I have experienced that myself as a family member of my father and my sister both had transplants. My father had a solid organ transplant. He was transplanted with his heart back in 2003. He survived for 11 years.
Wow.
And my sister had a bone marrow transplant, which unfortunately she lost her battle in 2000. So she survived 2 years with hers. So I understand the challenges of what these family members are going through and the caretakers.
Right.
It is probably one of the worst positions in the world to see someone that you love, that you're so close with, you know, struggling and battling through this. And the caretakers often neglect themselves as well. So
so the place that you created, you provide support to them, or is it a physical location?
It's a physical location, and there are certain criteria that allows them to live in this house together. There are multiple families together that live in this home, and it's almost set up like a very nice hotel. It has a big kitchen, it has a gym, it has a hair salon, it has all of the things and services that you otherwise neglect to do for yourself or have access to when you're running back and forth to the hospital for
Gotcha.
family member or friend that
it's like a home away from home kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Very good. So your father passed away. Is that correct?
Yes.
You lost your father, your sister, and your mom, or your mom was a different illness?
Yes. Actually, my mother was the healthy one. My father, like I said, he had his transplant in 2003. He struggled in and out of the hospital, and then his health plateaued. He was fine for a while. This was directly after my sister lost her battle to Hodgkin's lymphoma, unfortunately, in 2000. Wow.
Yeah.
She had a child, Francesca, who is my niece, my beautiful niece, who I'm so proud of.
Wow.
I am, very close to her, and we grew together so close and tight as a family. Things started to settle. And then about 6 months into my pregnancy, I became pregnant in 2009. 6 months into my pregnancy, my mother was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer that had already metastasized to her bone.
Serious?
Wow. Yeah. So I was caring for my mother and my father, because at this point my father was becoming more ill.
Right.
And my mother actually passed away the same 2 days within when I delivered my son. So I was in one hospital, she was in another.
Wow. And you would have loved to just have mom there, right? There's nothing.
Yeah, I think that was the most difficult part, was trying to be happy that I just gave birth to this beautiful and amazing child. And then losing a parent at the same time, it really, it's a confusing state of emotion.
Absolutely. That could have actually taken somebody out, because women sometimes have postpartum depression just alone without anything, even if they have their mom and dad around, right? And
Absolutely.
So women deal with that severely. And so imagine you're just giving birth, emotions is everywhere. And now the life is gone. So you gave life and life was taken, like almost simultaneously. Two of the closest things that you can have to you is your mom and your child, right? And so I can imagine that was a mixed emotion. And, I lost twin boys on Christmas Day. So they were 5 months gestation, and, Christmas Day is supposed to be happy, right? Gifts under the tree. Well, I was in the hospital trying to save them, flipped upside down and all that stuff. And, I wrote a book about that, how you hold a baby that's grasping for air in your hand, and they're grasping, but there's nothing anyone can do because the lungs have not been mature. They just go cold. And then the worst part about it is I had to pick them up and bury them, because in the state of Wisconsin, where I was at that time, anything over 5 months is considered a child. They made me go file a Social Security card and then a deceased card. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, I understand trauma to its worst degree, locked up in the home. And so you've taken all that, the pain has actually truly birthed your purpose. It has defined who Marla is, because you got to experience endurance, perseverance, a push. And that's even what the cheerleading was preparing you for, because you're really on the side watching the game. You're not in the game. But now Marla is the one in the game. You're the coach, you're the player, and you needed cheerleaders, right? And so you had this wonderful support system, which is your husband, who I met, which is my Army buddy. Well, he Marines, we're military guys. And you had at least that to be able to help you. And now, Marla, you have stepped into the position where you're giving back as a queen, as a royalty. And one of the reasons why I wanted you on the show is there's been a perception about pageants. And I had that perception because when I was thinking of pageants, I did not want to even entertain it because it seems catfighty. And that's not my personality. Like, I don't do the catfighty thing at all. Like, I'm like, whatever, you know? So I don't do that. I've heard of stories of hidden makeup and breaking legs and just an array of plethora of things that it's so competitive. Like, they're smiling with you, but they're really saying, I hope I win. And it was also a stereotypical, the skinny girl, you can see through her, the starvation, the bulimia, the anorexia. You've heard those stories with pageant, but you happen to still enter it into the system. And I want to let people know that, like Leah, how she owned her own, you can also own your own platform and space in the pageant world. And there are opportunities out there, not just in the USA Ambassador, but there are several others that if that's your desire and you want to become a queen, you don't have to get crowned necessarily to be a queen. You can just be a queen by owning it. And just really establishing yourself as that. So tell me 2 or 3 things that you can encourage those that are watching today who say, hey, I have a desire to go into this world, or I want to step into pageants. Because you and I spoke, this was not something we wanted, like, pageants. It was just like, I got kids here, but, so just share a couple of things of what made you just kind of say, let me test this out. Let me try this out and see what will become of it.
Right. And absolutely. I think one of the things as women, as we get older too, I won't say my age, I'll let that to be wondered about, but I think as we get older, a lot of times moms, when we become mothers, we completely just drop ourselves to the side and just service our children. And although that is a wonderful thing to do, and my life is my children, but I also wanted to show my children that life doesn't stop when you become a mother.
That's
you can still be a mom, a career woman, you could be a queen, you could be whatever you want to be at any age. And I, like you, had that same opinion of pageants growing up because I thought it was very superficial. It wasn't until I started actually judging pageants where I really got to understand the system and how it worked. And I was already living that life of, I hate to say the queen, but meaning that I was doing community service. I was, into fashion, into public speaking, into all of those things that you think of as a queen. And it had such a deeper meaning for me when I started to judge and understand that these women are wonderful. And it was an honor to enter into a pageant system and to actually be in that world.
Right.
So this was my first pageant. It's my first win. I feel honored. I think if I have the opportunity right now, which you've given me to tell my story and then to encourage people, the things I would say is, number one, find something that inspires you. What inspires you? Because you can't be successful unless you're inspired.
Right.
The second thing I would say is to know what your goal is. Not just say, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a cover model, or I want to, be a producer. Understand your goal, set it, and have it be realistic and attainable and reachable so that you really have a defined goal and a direction to go in.
Right.
And then I think the third thing I would absolutely say is take it day by day. And even sometimes we have to take it hour by hour because people jump ahead, so far ahead, and get discouraged. And Rome was not built in one day. And we all know that.
Right.
So that would be my words of advice.
Awesome. Just inspiring, Marla. Just a beautiful woman inside and out. And I'm so delighted that I had the opportunity, to cross paths with you and to even just understand just a little bit more. What she didn't tell you is that she is Sicilian. So she is Italian from her heritage as well as her husband, correct? Yes. And we just had an awesome time. So it's a story behind it, but we're peanut butter and jelly. And
that's right.
I'm the jelly because I'm darker. We're not going to
challenge you on that one. I got 2 shades darker since I've seen you.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. That's so fun. So hang on, Marla, we're going to be talking to you. Do you actually have a website that people can go to if they want to learn more about you?
Well, we absolutely have the Facebook page, which is the USA Ambassador Mrs. page, which we just actually launched this week since the big win. So please visit me there. You can see, as I'm developing this page, you'll see lots of pictures, even me on Facebook, Marla Viturello. You can absolutely go on there and see.
Absolutely. And she has a beautiful thing that she's doing, and we're going to be following your story, Marla, and be a part of it. I'll be in Jersey in a couple of weeks. So at the Miss America, pageant. So I'll be in Jersey, hanging out on Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore. Well, we'll have a good time for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to come back to you, Marla. So hang on, because we're going to have some closing remarks as well as questions from the audience, and they will ask you and Leah and all the rest that will be there. So if you're just joining us, you are live with the Dr. Carolyn Show. We're talking today about pageants, and we have beauty queens. We're talking about models and fashion. We have Leah Frazier, who's the editor-in-chief of Inspire in Style, hails all the way from Dallas, Texas. And we also just heard from Marla Viturello. Did I say that right, Marla?
Yes, you did. Yes.
All right. Yes, I got a little Italian in me. Awesome. Right. And she was the 2017 Mrs. USA Ambassador Queen, and the first in that line of pageantry, because it has not have a Mrs. division up until this year. And so we are, if you're just joining us, I want you to tweet out Dr. Carolyn Show, likes, hearts, everything that you can think of. Twitter it out, Instagram. I love Instagram. I have a lot of followers on Instagram. On Facebook, give me a roll call. Let me know where you are and let me know what you are doing. And so I'm really excited, really happy for today, for Marla, for Leah and the other guests that will be coming up. So I want to say hi to Rhonda, Tammy, Cavell, Kevin, Jonas or Jenna. Oh, Jenna. Okay. I have lots of guests here. Amy, Julie Laundry, and also Sandra. Thank you for joining us, saying hello. Thank you for your shout out that you gave to me. I am excited for you. I'm really happy that you're joining us. I want more guests to come and join us. Give us a roll call. Let us know where you are, because this feed is going out globally on Facebook Live and YouTube. There are 7 billion people in the world. 1.7 billion is on Facebook. And so we have 10% of the world that it has a possibility to hear Leah, to hear the Dr. Carolyn Show, to know about Rob Hicks and his production, to hear from Marla, and also our guests that will be coming up with us right now. And so this is how we do it. This is a space that we are using to push out life, because we are about creating life, about transformation, about anything you can imagine. If you can ink it, if you can write it, you can do it. And we have queens and fashion divas that we are talking to today who at one point did not know that they would be in the space that they are today, but through hard work and through perseverance, they were able to do that. So I am excited. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, because we're going to be talking to you about the upcoming show for next week, Monday. And so just hang on and stay tuned, and we'll come back with our final guest.
Incorporated, the great and wonderful Dr. Dorothy Buchanan Wilson. She'll be sharing about how she became triumphant from her trials to rise to where she is today. You don't want to miss this, so tune in on Facebook Live and YouTube TV.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome. Awesome. So next week, we will be talking about presidents with a purpose. We're going to be talking about leadership on the line. We have presidents of a sorority, president of a TV station, president of a financial organization, as well as an entrepreneur who presides over a multi-million-dollar company, just started out recently and just went off like a millennial making millions. That's kind of what they do, because they don't ask any permission. They just take it. And so join us next week, same time, same place. 8 Eastern, 7 Central for the Dr. Carolyn Show. We'll be talking to presidents of organizations, presidents with a purpose, and his leadership on the line. You know, leadership is a big name that's being tossed around now. You know, there's a variety of different opinions and decisions about leadership. And so we're going to be talking about that today and helping some people to gain momentum into the leadership style of a variety of different people. So again, you can own your space. And so what we have with us, our next guest, who is also a beauty queen. She is an inspiration. She's beautiful inside and out. Her name is Kyla Lima. Right, Kyla? And she is today the Miss USA Ambassador Junior Teen 2017. And so, Kyla, welcome to the show. How are you doing, Kyla?
Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. You looking beautiful as usual.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the crown. Is it heavy?
Not really. I thought it was going to be a lot heavier, but it's good.
It's good. It's okay. It doesn't give you a headache, right?
No.
Okay. All right. So you won the Miss USA Ambassador Junior Teen, which was an amazing competition because there were several girls that were in that space where you were, and anyone could have gotten the title, right? Sometimes it's based on the judges. Sometimes it's based on the talent. There's a plethora of reasons when it comes to pageant who they choose as the selected candidate, right? And so you were the one that was chosen. Yes. And I just want you to share, not yet about the pageant, but just let the people know who you are up until that point, what you've done. I know you do dancing, and you also do some stuff to help with cancer and the young people. So I want you to just share your story so people can get to know who you are before the crown and the sash.
Yes. So I am a 14-year-old from Massachusetts. And I'm also a competitive dancer. And along with dancing, I have a platform that I share with my sister called Dancer Against Cancer. And basically how we found our platform, we were at a dance competition, and at one of the awards, they played a video of a young girl who was battling with cancer. And she had a strong passion for dance, just like I did. And even though she was under all the treatment and all her medicine, she was in the hospital, she still found a way to dance. And she lost her battle to cancer, but they showed us like as when she had cancer, like how she was trying to fight it, but also trying to dance. So it's definitely really inspiring to everyone.
Yeah.
So I have my platform, and we perform at many charity events. We hold talent shows to raise money. So me and my sister have a lot of fun with our platform.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. So like Marla, see how these stories sometimes are so different, but yet similar. And I'm sure, Leah, you've been affected some way by someone in your family with cancer, because I know I have. My father had terminal cancer of the prostate, but thank God he's alive today. And so we just prayed for him and prayed healing. Sometimes it works, right? Sometimes it doesn't. And a lot of people have been losing their life to this awful disease called cancer. It's just everywhere. And you have taken that initiative from something you saw. And at that time, you weren't in pageants. You were just more in the dancing world and competitive dancing. So just not, I'll tap and ballet, here or there. You actually competed, and so did your sister. And so your platform right now is like Leah, like Marla, is to encourage people's lives, right? So there's a lot of young girl, and this is why I left you to be one of the last guests, because right now I also coach parents who have lost their children, especially daughters, to suicide because of the stigma that's out there in the world today, whether it's the social media bullying or even pageants. You didn't win. When I recently at the pageant, at the ambassador pageant, there were tears everywhere, and it can be emotional. Well, it is emotional because you worked almost a year, right, to be able to get that space, and no queen goes there saying, I'm not going to win, right? It's like, I want to be the one to be chosen. And so you, is this your first pageant or second? This is your first, correct?
No, I've actually been doing pageants for just a year now.
Okay. All right. And you won another title for another organization, correct?
Yes, for the Cinderella pageant. I was
okay.
in the team.
Okay, awesome. Maybe we'll be seeing you on a Disney movie and a Cinderella something, Oh, you never know. Leah can get you into that, right, Leah? Awesome. So I want you to share with a mom that is watching today, or a young lady. We have young ladies that watch this, and you're international. You're a beautiful young Black woman, but your mom is also from another country, because I got to meet her. And there are sometimes, even in the African American world, where I've seen the girls who just don't think they are good enough to wear a crown or to go into the space of pageant or modeling or even science or arts. It's just like a one track or one field type of thing. And so I want you to share some story or just a couple tips of what made you determined to go into this world and what you can do to help young girls who are having these kind of insecurities about themselves.
Okay, so
Loaded
I
question.
have an older sister who is also involved with pageants, and she did the American system and the USA system. So I always watched her at her pageants. I was always supporting her. And since I had just turned 13, I was a little bit older and I was understanding what pageants were, because I used to just watch them on TV. And I never used to understand what they really were. But I watched my sister do it, and not only my sister, but all the other girls, they inspired me. So I told my mom that I wanted to be in a pageant. So we quickly went online and we were looking for a pageant system for me to do. So we found the Cinderella pageant. That was the first pageant I had ever done. But for any girl that wants to enter a pageant, I always tell them to always be yourself and to always just be kind from the inside and to show your confidence, because I feel like everyone should be confident, because everyone is beautiful in their own way. And if everyone just puts aside anything else, then they will just succeed in pageants.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, well said. And also one of the things that I noticed, and I noticed this right away when I saw you, your posture told me that you were a dancer. And that was because I was in that world. So I did dancing. So one of the things I think a lot of young girls, no matter what color you are, if you desire to even be in the fashion or pageant world, one of the things I found that helps is the arts. So whether it's, some form of dancing or some, I just really have found that it makes your walk and your posture just a little bit more graceful. And it doesn't have to even be that form of dancing. It can be Zumba. Hey, I'm a Zumba instructor. So
I wish I could take your class.
I know, right? And we drop those pounds. I'm telling you, I got to get some hips off. Marla, no, excuse me, Kyla. You guys' names are so similar. I got Leah, Kyla, and Marla. I mean, that triple trio. And so Kyla, so I was just saying to you that there's a lot of young girls who just have such a desire to be able to do that. And Marla, you have a daughter, and maybe one day she may even be inspired to do what mom has done, right? And so you're even doing the reverse. I mean, I did the crazy by boop, all three of us at one time. Won't do that again. But yeah, it's an inspiration. And so guys, you guys have heard from Leah, the fashion guru who is an attorney. She could have been making millions from her attorney world, and you kind of stuffy, having the suits and the 9 to 5, but she took her passion somewhere else, and now she's owning her space because that's what she was created to be and to do. And one of the things I want you to know is that life is a journey. It is not a final destination. When you finally arrive, that means you're pretty much dead. And so on this path, you will have different obstacles. You've heard from Marla, who has had the trauma from her mom, her sister, and her father. You've heard from Leah. Leah, what's your story, Leah? You had to have one trauma.
Not necessarily trauma, but I think as we're talking about this transitioning, it was hard to go off on that path by myself. So I traveled the road alone for probably around 4 years.
Yes.
Before I had any support, and that was devastating for me.
Yes.
It almost made me think that, okay, maybe I'm crazy.
I do remember that. Yeah. Because, we all need people to connect with and to help us as a support system, right? Yeah, yeah. So you guys have seen that. There are similarities and differences across the platform of pageants, modeling, and fashion. And you've heard from 3 different backgrounds, 3 different complete states, 3 different age groups and categories, as well as culture. But the underlying principle that I want you guys to take away from today's show is that they didn't stay where they were. They had a vision and they had a desire, they had a dream to see something be accomplished, whatever the drive was behind it. Kyla, she loved the arts and the dancing, and she has a heart for those young people who are suffering, or families who are still suffering from anything that has to do with cancer. She turned her passion into something that she can use to be an inspiration and to be a platform to other young ladies. And Kyla, that's just an amazing, tremendous inspiration to many people. Marla, she had a journey, she had losses, and she did not stay there because she's alive today speaking to you, and she shared her story. Myself has had tremendous losses, and life, is a journey. Sometimes you never know what's around the corner, what's coming, but as long as you walk in your space and you own it. I never thought I would be doing the Dr. Carolyn Show. I never thought I just like being on people's show. I didn't necessarily want to be running my own show. I was good on Steve Harvey and all the other stuff that was happening, but the path, it called me because the FCC gave a challenge that they needed authenticity in the shows that were out there, no matter what platform it came across. So I answered that call to bring authenticity, transparency, transformation, and also results. You heard from Leah, you heard from Marla, you heard from Kyla that you don't have to stay where you are. If you have a desire to go into whatever space, just own it, take it, walk in it, because it belongs to you. And so those of you that has been giving me a shout out and let me know where you're from, I'm going to pick a person that has posted, and I am going to be giving you a free coaching session with me, which is valued at $1,512 to speak about whatever you want, to write down your vision, to write down your goals and your dreams, and to be inspired to be like one of these beautiful ladies that we interviewed today. And so I'm going to pick a name, and that person, whoever that individual is, will be getting something from me. And so the person that has won this is Jenna Overton. And so Jenna, I want you to email admin, so ADMIN, at CarolynGAnderson.com. And so that is Jenna Overton. You are the person that has won this based on the time frame that this needed to be. And so you'll be able to talk. You'll be able to get over $1,000 value of just sharing your story, help to map out your life, help to map out your vision, and help to walk into your purpose. Okay?
Awesome.
So, all right. So thank you guys for joining us on the Dr. Carolyn Show. And thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to our awesome guests. Each one of you, starting with Leah, I want you to just give the audience one thing that you want to leave with them from today's show. And you have the mic, darling.
Just don't give in to fear. It's all in your mind. Change your mindset. If you're fearful about something, just run towards it. And that's what I've done. And my life is so blessed right now, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else. So don't let it overtake you.
I like that. I'm going to use that, Leah. I'm going to use that. If you fear something, run into it. And then you just attack it like David did Goliath.
Yes.
Okay, I'm writing that down. I took that away. Awesome. I love that. Marla, you're next. Thank you so much for joining us, Leah. And Marla, one thing that you want to leave with the guests today to inspire them, to let them know that their lives can be changed no matter what circumstance they're going through. And you're on, Miss Marla.
So the best advice I could ever give anyone is to take whatever turmoil or tragedy that you've had in your life and use it as a positive strength to help move towards your goal and find what inspires you. A lot of people don't know what inspires them. Find it and go after it, and don't stop until you get it.
Right.
So that would be the best thing for me
to
say.
Yeah. And when you found it, when you would do it even if no one paid you. That's what it's a passion. It's like you can't eat, sleep, or breathe without it.
Exactly.
And
identify it. Know what it is.
Okay, that's really good. Yep, and write it down. You see like how she's blinging, you're shining. You look amazing.
Oh, thank you. So do you.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have Kyla. Kyla, one thing that you would want to leave with the viewing audience today that will change, shift, and inspire their lives?
Best advice that I could give to everyone is definitely to dream big, figure out what you want your dream to be, set goals, and take action.
Awesome. All right. So I heard dream big, take goals, and set action, right?
Set goals and take action.
The opposite. Okay, set goals, take action. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank today our guests, Leah Frazier from Dallas, Texas, Marla from New Jersey. New Jersey folks got an accent, and Kyla Lima from Massachusetts, correct? And you are the Miss USA Ambassador Junior Teen 2017. And we want to thank all of our guests for being on the show today. We need you guests as well as the audience to continue to watch and share and tweet out this video. I want to thank our producer, Mr. Rob Hicks from Hicks Video. Thank you, sir. Thumbs up, double thumbs, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can find him at robhicks.com. Yes, Rob? That's where they can find you. Awesome. And for those of you who have just an inch of an inspiration to do something and to walk in it, use these guests as an example. Use myself. Just step into your purpose and walk into it. You will know you have found your true calling when, even if no one paid you to do it, you will still do it anyway. And so that is why you need to do now in August. Just write it down. Just own it, claim it, run after that fear, go after it. You know, I thought I had to be a size 2 to be in the pageant. I'm like, I got to eat. So I'm cool too. Marla, we were hungry, weren't we?
Yes.
We were hungry.
I will eat. I will never starve myself.
Never, never. And that was the beauty too, even about this pageant. And as Leah was saying, she was perfect with her size. Hey, the world now today, you don't have to be the super.
That's right.
Person, just own your body type. You know, right. You're gifted with certain parts that people pay money for. Hey, celebrate because it is, and you know, life is a gift, and whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable, you do it. Don't let anyone, no male, female, or anyone define who you are. You define who you are by walking in your purpose, owning your destiny and your path. Thank you for joining us again. This was the Dr. Carolyn Show. We were talking today with beauty queens. We were talking about pageants and fashion and modeling, and we have 3 awesome, wonderful guests who were able to join us today. Next week, tune in, same time, same place. Well, not in Florida. I'll be back in the studio, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Dr. Carolyn Show. We need you to continue to share this video. We need you to continue to watch and to share this. And we want to thank you so much for being with us. Have an awesome, excellent day. And again, live life fully every single day on purpose, always.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.